Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhan dhammang sanghang namassami. So today is 17th of June, Rinpoche's birthday. He was born 105 years ago, 1918. And from the morning, we had a reading from his teachings led by Ajahn Nyanarato at the morning communal meeting and also Anumodana time. So I'd like to say again, this is the day for us to, first to reflect on his teachings, but also recognize how much we owe to him, his teaching, his presence. So clear and natural sense of gratitude I find in my heart, and so this is a special and important day. Without him, from Rinpoche and his disciples, and Rinpoche Medo and to Ajamaro. So like this very wonderful place, temple and Amaravati Monastery, Sangha, lay supporters, lay friends, all of this, of course it goes back to Buddha himself, but particularly for us, Rinpoche, without him, nothing would be possible. So when we usually do not have to think in this way, but today just clearly bring our attention to that fact, how we live here, how we are given the opportunity to practice, how we are given the chance to really make best use of our life. So that clear sense of gratitude, I think it is a nice feeling too, but it's good to recognize on this day. And for today, tonight, this evening, I talk about my own experience as well, and then carry on to his teaching, or we say Ajahn Chah's monastery, Ajahn Chah's lineage, but actually what we inherit, that kind of theme. I'd like to share my thoughts on them. And I said my experience with Rinpoche. In fact, when I came to Wat Pananachat, International Forest Monastery, it's very close to our main monastery, Wat Papon. He was already in his vegetative state. He was in vegetative state over 10 years, I understand. And he was already more than 5 years for that stage. So I never had the chance to see him myself, to see him actively teaching, or just how he spoke or acted. So from that very limited perspective, I'd like to share my own experience. So he was already in a nursing kuti. The Wat Papon has its own main premise, where Uposatha hall, Dhamma hall, dining hall, as well as kutis, many kutis altogether. I don't know, in acres, 100-something acres, 300 150 rise in Thai way of calculating the area. And but in the main premise, but outside the premise, they built the nursing kuti to offer our care to him. This is probably particularly those days, something very new. The building is very different from usual kutis we find in monasteries in forest monasteries in Thailand. But it has more hospital bed and then more hygienically well equipped building. And how the Sangha was taking care of him was the Sangha, actually monks took turns to offer our care. Each team was 4 monks and 1 novice. So 4 monks actually attending him 12 hours a day, 12 hours for one shift. And from first the day shift is after the meal. There, once meal a day, so that's around 9 or 10 o'clock. And then to the tea time. And then a team of night shift, evening shift comes again, 4 monks and 1 novice. So their shift is actually night vigil. Well, you're allowed to have a short rest, but basically we offer care, support to him 24 hours. And this is a usual way we did, but when his condition became serious, which happens from time to time, then it was beyond the Sangha's capacity. So he was brought to Ubon Hospital, provincial hospital, and then medical professionals would offer more care, proper care or treatment to him. So he was spending last phase of his life, over 10 years, something like this. And so I said the 4 monks. So what we did is really, because he was, Rinpoche was in his vegetative state, he wouldn't be able to move at all, to say nothing of speaking or other usual human functions we have. So in order to avoid a bed sore, we had to turn around his body quite regularly. If you are in a hospital, you're very familiar with this, but if you don't this, bed sore happens. Once it happens, quite difficult problem to cope with. So probably monks being taught how to do it, and we're doing very regularly one way or another. And also what I remember is because we didn't want him to have a phlegm in his lungs, so also from time to time we offered him sort of tapping, making hand in sort of shell shape, and then tapping his chest area gently, so that release anything in his lungs area to become detached, to avoid phlegms or something similar to develop in his chest. And together with offering food, because he had initially it was different arrangement, should be different arrangement, but by the time I had the opportunity to attend to, he had already torahectomy. It was a trachea, which is cut. So it is through this tube we offered nutriment to him. So and his condition had challenges from time to time, like at Wat Panachat, I was, just like here, I became, after Anagarika, and I was Samanera and novice. And then Lumpo Pasano, or Ajahn Pasano was the abbot. He was the fourth abbot from Lumpo Smedo, Ajahn Babakaro, Ajahn Chakaro, and he was the fourth one. And he was abbot for 5 years. So he said, okay, I had a Nawaka training as the abbot, so I can take the Sangha for the Tudon, to western part of Thailand. This is the Jeddah side of Thailand. Wat Papon is more Cambodian, Laotian border, so northeast Thailand, that corner side of Thailand. But Ajahn Pasano was organizing the Sangha to go to western part, more towards Burmese border. We didn't have a Dao Dam yet. That developed slightly later. But Ajahn Pasano had a good connection with that part, because he himself, when he was a practicing monk, he was practicing on his own. He went to that area as a part of his Tudon practice. So he thought he could take the Wat Panachat Sangha to go there. So we are excited, we are preparing ourselves. But then Rinpoche's condition became worse. We gave up the idea, and we means Wat Panachat Sangha went to Rinpo, his nursing kuti. We went there every day, and we started offering parita chanting for him. Rinpoche, usually he would be in a room of the nursing kuti, on a nursing hospital bed, as I described. But when he was in good condition, reasonably good condition, he was, helped to sit in a wheelchair. Of course, he wouldn't move, talk at all, but attending monks just push his wheelchair to go around the nursing kuti. So the monks, visiting monks or lay people, have a chance to see him, but mainly to pay respect. I think because his condition, I don't think he came outside, but Wat Panachat Sangha visited him every day around the tea time, and we offered parita chanting. And also then, soon after, we were told that Rinpoche would appreciate Vipassana Bhumi chanting. When it's in a funeral chanting, somehow it is part of our funeral chanting, but it's starting from Pancha Kanda, Rupa Kanda. It is a list of actually very good Dhamma reflection. So one of the meditation teachers, someone actually commented that Rinpoche would appreciate. And so having heard this, we also started offering Vipassana Bhumi. In fact, tonight's gathering at the end, we like to, just as a closing, we like to chant the Vipassana Bhumi for this occasion. And so he managed to survive. So instead of Wat Panachat Sangha to go there every day, we reduced the amount to once a week on one per day. And his condition became challenging again about a few months later. So this time he was taken to the Ubon hospital. And that's the time he had a thoraectomy. And we knew Rinpoche wouldn't recover, more realistic thinking, but to have thoraectomy means he would lose his voice permanently. So it was a necessary but painful decision to make. And when it happened, that was the time I was going to have a Upasampada, my monk's ordination. So all the monks, including Ajahn Pasano, and then also villagers, they were regularly visiting Rinpoche at the Ubon Hospital. So when I had the Upasampada, very few people came, and even the lay person is only one person from Bonwai village. So, but it was quiet. And then Ajahn Pasano came to Upasampada ceremony from the hospital. And when Upasampada was over, he went back to the hospitals, something like this. So just his condition was, from time to time showing the challenges. So this is the nature of his condition. It's the vegetative state, which means the body is actually surviving, the life faculty is there, but to more how this body, our body has many aspects to sustain various functions, but once we are in a vegetative state, it becomes, many things function becomes less than minimum. So naturally, his condition had changes and challenges from time to time. But he managed, well, let's say, he managed to survive few more years until 1992, January 16th. I was already moved to one of the branches in Kanchanaburi province. It's again in the western part of Thailand. And it is a new monastery, over 1,000 acres, huge place, but it was originally just a sugarcane field, and we are planting so many trees and other development. And it is in a very remote, quiet corner, and in the valley, so we usually did not have any visitors. And I was involved in monastery development far away from the main sala. But then one day I heard the bell ringing, just like the same as the bell we have here, which is very unusual because we did not have to ring the bell at all. So I heard the bell, so I had to go back to the main site, main sala, 20 minutes walk, probably longer than that, possibly. Then I came to know what happened. And then that monastery didn't have any electricity or telephone connection. So how the news was conveyed was what happened in the Ubon, and then it was the news sent to provincial town, and the lay supporter there probably drove a car 100 kilometers away to the monastery and conveyed a message. I guess the people here got to know before me. It's much quicker to relay the message, news to internationally to hear. So my experience is, in that way, very limited, and also I never had the experience of how he was acting lively. But also what I notice is, first, although to me, when I went there, he was in a vegetative state, but those who knew how Lumpur was, how Ajahn Chah was, how powerful his teaching is, what is his charisma, how important, and so all the rest, for them, it is really heartbreaking. I don't know what proper English word, but it's so difficult to accept the fact such a powerful teacher, such a wonderful teacher, to be in a literally hopeless, or I use that not strong, but hopeless or really powerless stage. So emotionally, it's very difficult to accept. I think Sangha members were just more, how to relate to this area of impermanence and old age, sickness, death, hopefully. But for lay people, devotees, that must have been very, very difficult. And we are offering care to him, and also at the same time, we knew sooner or later his death would come, and we knew too that the funeral occasion would be quite substantial. Just a few years earlier, then some of the famous forest teacher, the teachers of forest tradition, not Ajahn Chah's tradition, passed away, and it became a big occasion. It's very challenging to manage. So having noticed this, so Sangha had to really well plan how to have the funeral. In fact, 1992 he passed away, he died, and then the following year we kept his body for 1 year, and the following year we had a royal funeral. And the gathering continued about a week or even longer, adding the number together, altogether the number of people attended or visited the occasion was 1 million. So it is a serious thing. We have to think carefully from how to manage toilet, how to manage the shower blocks, and actually how people can gather. So that's why the nursing kuti was already outside the main site, main promise, but we Sangha had to make the road outside the area, and then now it is a chedi, memorial chedi for Rinpoche, but this was initially, this is also the site for cremation. So the idea was to have a cremation, and then actual tower chedi itself will be a place for to keep his relics, as we see now. So we had to, not we or Sangha, they had to build this stupa together with the road work, let's say, the network, how we manage the flow of people. And then we had to put the toilets, shower blocks, so many things. So and then building also inside the main site as well. Our dining hall, sala was getting old, sala and then dining hall. So they were building new one too. So although Rinpo was in his state, vegetative state, but Sangha had to be very active in terms of construction. So some of the days, some of the monks are actually working almost like throughout the night. One of my friends was saying, "Oh, I was mixing a cement 200 bags last night until 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, like this." So I don't mean everybody did this, but a certain number of people had to dedicate themselves to physical work. So, and also people did come to visit Rinpo at his nursing kuti. Even I know that the Sri Lankan president or prime minister, they came too. So the constant visitors to pay respect. And also his teaching was already spreading throughout the country, in Thailand, also internationally too. So people are practicing what Panachatya Sangha also developing bigger. So Lumpur, Ajahn Chah himself, was physically, literally very quiet. He wouldn't say anything, but so many things were happening from the devotion, painful feeling, sorrow, or physically preparing the site, or simply people are dedicating themselves to practice. And it was how to say, to me it was also the contrast. Where, as I said, Rinpoche is such a strong teacher, or teacher of charisma, but now he's possibly the most powerless state human being can say. Sure, he was in that state. So that huge challenging contrast. And also his being, physical being, is literally quiet, silent, and so many things were happening around. Well, I was just a junior monk, and I was also, I had the opportunity to join this nursing team. I really feel I was grateful for that opportunity, but also being new to the Sangha, I was also, let's say, obsessed with my own practice. I had to practice this kind of things was happening. So that's how I remember. And I would repeat again, there's a strong element of old age, sickness, death. We reflect, we chant and reflect so regularly. We know this, but that fact was in front of us every day. So we would say, maybe symbolical way too, although even the last phase of life, Lumpur, Ajahn Chah was offering us, giving his body to show what is the nature of human existence. Yes, and okay. Now I'd like to share or talk about his teaching, so his style of teaching as well as monastic development we experience now. I know now so many books, English books have been published, including his biography, Still Flowing Water. Stillness for Flowing, yeah, thank you. So it's Paramony is the Thai original, which Ajahn Chah wrote. I still go back to the time how he was. So he was a vice abbot at Wat Panachat, but he was interviewing Rinpoche's disciples, both Sangha members and lay community. And so having heard all the stories of Rinpoche in detail, so he was, I believe, he was so inspired. So he was eating very little, austere, almost like intimidating to us, but he was really dedicating his time to write this Paramony and biography, and also he made a determination to not to lie down until Lumpur passes away. You may probably know this. So So now the students following eventually, a few years ago, Ajahn Chah sort of finished English translation, so I guess people know very well the stories, probably more than I do. But still, Rinpoche's teaching, style of teaching, what is it? I think it is safe to say there's no particular method, this technique of meditation, or nothing to say this manual to follow, nothing like this. So often people come, I still remember when I was a junior monk at Pananachar, Sri Lankan monk visited, and apparently he came to know Rinpoche. He liked it, I believe, but still he had to ask, actually, what do you practice here? I'm like, we can say same thing even here, because if we follow certain techniques, it's simple. We do this, we follow this manual, these techniques, but as we all of us know, nothing like this. And yet, we find his teaching very useful, as well as the Sangha is so expanding and flourishing now. And when was it? 2001, I believe that was the year I came to Amaravati, started living in this monastery. We had the World Abbot meeting. As you know, international elders meeting from not only Europeans, but from America, Australia, all the the elders from foreign monasteries, foreign means outside of Thailand, come together to have a gathering. We call it International Elders Meeting. We do every 3 or 4 years, and Amaravati also hosted it twice, if not 3 times. But before that, the very first one of this kind of meeting happened was called World Abbot Meeting here. And so first time to meet the abbot and the elders from various branch monasteries all over the world came and had some meeting, also just opportunity to connect together. I still remember in this hall, about, I don't know how many of us, monks and nuns, sat in a circle, and we had that sort of sharing too. So that was 2001. And for this special opportunity, Ajahn Kongrit, he thought this is a rare opportunity, why we should interview those elders who had the chance to live with Rinpoche. So he went through various acharyas with a question, something like, how do you remember Ajahn Chah? What is the significant aspect of Ajahn Chah? Or something like this. And interesting enough, every acharya said very differently. Like some would say, well, yes, it's compassion, metta. Then some says, well, I don't know what is Rinpoche. I had to ask, what is Ajahn Chah? Yeah, actually, he's mindfulness itself. Or some would say, no, he's about samadhi. His samadhi was so powerful, I experienced. Who else? Like, his physical being, his body is actually, the Dhamma is embedded in his physical being. Maybe not exactly, but something like this to do with physical presence. Or another elder said, no, it's about the Sangha, his establishment, and then guiding or training the Sangha. That was his significant part. So as you can see, so many different aspects. And I think all of them are relevant. But at the same time, what is Ajahn Chah's tradition? And so this is just my way of seeing or thinking. Particularly, I know I was going to talk about him today, so I had to think again. It's nothing new, but I put it in order. So two aspects I like to talk. The first one is his teaching style. Very, simple, clear, direct or to the point or to the essence, something like this. For example, almost like I think everybody knows the word "maine." Not sure in English they translate "maine." So frequently said, but this is why in a Pali term, the Dhamma Pali word is like anicca. So the impermanent is usual translation for anicca, but in his case, maine. As we apply this word to our daily life or practices, when we have hold something too seriously, frustrating, or become challenging, then to remember this word, maine. Even if we think something is very important, very significant, or we can't give it up, so important, so almost like absurd. But then this simple word of maine, not sure. So this word reflects, even this word itself, we can talk, we can have single talks. I just do not do this, but not sure. Or maine is really, once we relate, we settle that place of maine. Actually, it is pointing at, just like we chanted today, Anattalakkhana Sutta, the part of anicca, dukkha, anatta. So it's instead of relating the things to something that's so important, even personal, to the place of total freedom, at ease, something like this. So it is a very simple word, yes, and direct, but also to the essence. Similarly, another common, well-known word is ploiwan, letting go. Again, it is a very simple word, and he would say many, many times, ploiwan, letting go. Let me speak in its Thai language, Thai words. Ploiwan, okay, letting go. How I understand, it's not talking about any particular act or action, doing something in particular. Rather, like stop holding something, stop grabbing something instead of doing. So that's how I understand the word ploiwan, letting go. Thai word made of two words, ploiwan. Ploi is more or less letting go, let go. Wan is more like spaciousness, even emptiness. Those elements are in the word itself. So ploiwan. So it's not like you are doing something particular, but almost like how we are. Before this talk, I had a chance to watch BBC's documentary, The Mindful Way. Rinpoche, because of his time, nothing was videoed about his life. The audio recordings, there are many, but the quality wasn't so great. But because of the modern technology of editing work, the many audio recordings are available. But the video, I think, as far as I know, the BBC's documentary, two of them, is only the one. So there, Rinpoche appears. The mindful way, I have to say this is very well made. BBC crew must have studied what is the Buddhism or Sangha life. So the way it is presented is comprehensive enough, and also very much in a respectful way. So I was actually quite impressed. So in that, it shows the life at Wat Papon, our main monastery, but also from time to time, Rinpoche appears. So he's speaking. Also, we could see how he is. And one of the scenes, he's being interviewed by Westerner, and then Ajahn Prabhakar was translating. There's something like Rinpoche was saying, Nibbana is not something you worry about. And then the interviewer said, well then, how about the monks trying to, or struggle to reach Nibbana, something like this? And then Rinpoche said, no, Nibbana is not something you strive, you try. So the interviewer had to say, well, if you don't try, if you don't strive, what to do? And then Rinpoche said, immediately without delay, praivan. What is a practice? The answer was praivan, letting go. So this is, to me, it is really the word to talk about the essence. So we hear the word letting go so many times in so many places. We should let go. Well, we know some of the situations we really become stuck, frustrated, difficult, but this word we hear, we remember as encouragement. But this interview actually reminded me, essence of practice, essence of teaching, praivan, letting go. Yeah, so to see BBC's documentary today, actually, it helped me to recognize once more this simple word of letting go actually has its profound message there. Often Rinpoche's teaching, yes, it is simple and easy to access, easy to understand, but also the case we keep them in our heart months, years, the taste changes, taste deepens. Oh, I see, this is what he meant. This is what it meant. Just like this word, praivan. I have to say, I heard so many, many times. And in his talk, he uses this word again and again. But when he said, how do we practice? How do the monks practice if striving to Nibbana is not the way? Simply, and without hesitation, without a delay, he said immediately, praivan, letting go. So this is something to me to, again, once more to register in my heart. There are many more examples how his teaching is simple and yet very so skilled. I have to stop soon. But one more example, if I may, like many people would know, the simile he used, the head and tail of cobra. The cobra or poisonous snake. So if you grab the head, of course, you're going to be bitten. Dangerous, more than dangerous. But also if you hold the tail, of course, the snake or cobra turn around and it bites you. So this is the simile for him to describe happiness and then opposite. we have these experiences or mental impressions always, but then we know, at least intellectually, okay, attachment to anything is not safe. Even to the present thing, even the happiness, we shouldn't become attached, so then we will suffer. But this simile is so skillful, very powerful image, and we can't miss the point. Yes, the head is obviously dangerous. Nobody like it. You wouldn't touch it, you wouldn't bother it. We know it. But even the tail, sukha, or happy experience, everybody likes it, I like it, but once you hold it, the head turns around and bites you. So this simile, and then it is a cobra or poisonous snake, so we know this is a poison. This, it kills us. So it is very clear, powerful simile to say nature of attachment. Once you grab, once you hold, we just in danger or more than in danger. And also, this simile, what this simile tells us is, although cobra is such a dangerous one, either you hold the head or the tail, but if we do not touch, it is safe. So this is also very good message we can learn. Okay, there are many things for favorable things, so attractive things, important things to the opposite. This is the nature of the world, the nature of the samsaric realm. But also, if we do not go there to hold it, although there are poisons, very life-threatening poisons, but as far as we don't touch, totally fine. So the message is also, it is possible for us to live, my word, samsara as samsara. If we want to fight with or manipulate or control the samsara, yes, it is a cobra, there's a poison. But also if we understand the nature of the cobra, and if we do not go there to hold, it remains safe. So this is a very good simile we can learn from, and clear because of such a visual or the image story of it. So we can see his skill in his teaching. Doesn't matter you're young or old or Westerners or Asian or ordained or lay practitioner or practicing many, many years or never, or Buddhist or non-Buddhist, doesn't matter. This example is really showing us we can't miss to understand. And yet what is said there is, again, very much essence of our existence, really. So Rinpoche's teaching, okay, if we are asked to say this technique, this method, right, at least I don't find anything. But the other way to look at this, his teaching is always to the point. Essence, I said, so what is this? One way to say it is like what matters most, which is suffering and non-suffering. Proivan, letting go, or not. This is, or to realize, or to be with the place of mine, not sure, or we become lost, forgetting about the nature of mine, not sure. This is exactly suffering and non-suffering. So anytime, anybody, to anybody, what matters most. So in that sense, Rinpoche's teaching is, to me, very immediate and direct. So there's no name for it, no particular technique for it. But on the other hand, when we think of what Rinpoche's teaching and what we inherited or what we're inheriting is, when we reflect this, actually, are we in that place of what is most important? And just one more thing. The other aspect I'd like to share about Rinpoche's teaching and lineage is this: how the Sangha is so flourishing. And we have a word, Thai forest tradition. Yes, it's sort of unauthorized term. Everybody says, but what is Thai forest tradition? In my understanding, it exists in Thailand and the monastery in the forest. Actually, a bit more than this. My interpretation is, I particularly started from Lumpur Mang, Ajahn Mang. We have a statue here. So Ajahn Mang, who died in 1947, until then, the teaching in the forest is sort of, people didn't know, but Ajahn Mang, his teaching also, we don't have anything much from his, because it's too early for recording anything like this. But he was, again, very, very powerful teacher, and he had many disciples who became later meditation masters, such as Ajahn Mahabua or Arunta Mahabua, who died a few years ago. So Ajahn Chah was also Ajahn Mang's disciple, although interesting enough, his time with Ajahn Mang was only few nights, 2 or 3 nights. But that was enough to Rinpoche to say profoundly connected with Ajahn Mang. So let's say Thai forest tradition, maybe this is my own view, but people would, I hope, agree that usually when we say Thai forest tradition is Ajahn Mang's lineage. There may be more broader interpretation possible, but among this Thai forest tradition, what is different between Ajahn Chah's lineage and others is communal activities. Other Thai forest monasteries, where you would say Dhamma monasteries, usually they emphasize in solitude. So apart from bindabat, eating, then you're just encouraged to go back to your own kutis and just commit and dedicate ourselves to practice. Ajahn Chah's monasteries, we have so many monasteries, so there are varieties. Some of the monasteries actually have that element of solitude. You know, it's in a very remote area, particular cave, and then this is a really great opportunity for people to experience total solitude. It is possible too, or some monasteries just occasionally would become very active in construction, so you have to work, something like this is possible. But so there are a variety of style management of the monasteries, but let's say typical one is found at Wat Papon. And then similarly to here, they have a morning gathering, meditation and chanting, evening meditation and chanting. This is other Thai forest monasteries. I don't know now, but in the past, it wasn't their lifestyle, routine or style of how Sangha function and they practice. But what Ajahn Chah's way is actually to live together and practicing together is clear element as far as I can see. And when we think of Rinpoche's life, he was ordained in a village monastery. Initially, his life as a monk was more like a studying for some years, few years at the beginning, but he realized studying on its own doesn't lead to liberation, which he wasn't really he wanted to follow. So he left a study monastery and he went to Tudong to practice on his own and then meeting teachers such as Ajahn Chah. And then after certain time of practice, he came back to the village he was born, a nearby area, and he established a monastery. He established a monastery, Wat Papon. So throughout his experience, how the mind, well, his own experience, but how the mind can be, how the human being's mind would be, I think this is his wisdom to say, actually, to have some structure is helpful, rather than leave people to practice, okay, you work, solitude is, and so forth. I think, well, this is my way of saying, like, nowadays, I'm not sure, but in Thailand, it is possible to go to various monasteries to find try to find the best conditions, very quiet or very remote or this, that. But sometimes our own, the Dhamma word, kilesa, defilement, can disguise, to tell, what is the English word? It's under the name of solitude, but actually just we follow our own tendency, what we like, what we think this is like. But the result is we can become stuck in one area, because one area means not physically, but the certain tendency we have. If we are on our own, somehow mind is clever enough to tell us lie, and then we just escape from the most important issue, and then following that pattern again and again. That's like when I quote Rinpoche's simile, is like one wild dog. He was staying here, one place, and then going to another place. He never stop moving, and what he's doing is just scratching his body, and after a few moments he moved to another. Why does he do? Because he has a skin disease, so that's itchy feeling urges him to move on from one place to another. But actual problem is his skin condition. So this is, again, very good simile what Rinpo offers us. So the similar way, possibly, we can be deluded by this kind of our internal tendency. Just we can say delusion. We just follow blindly, or even sometimes we know, but we just allow ourselves to follow this tendency, defilement. Just like avoiding facing real skin condition, but just, so itchy, I have to go there, not find another place. So this kind of observation Rinpoche had as our human condition or mind condition. So instead of cleverly escaping from our own individual tendency, just living together, whether you like or you don't like. Sometimes we inspired, sometimes we feel lazy, sometimes we understand, sometimes we do not understand. But like here, 5 o'clock, come, meditate, chant together, do this meeting, attend this meeting, working together, and in the evening again. So just this framework together is actually living in a community is the same thing. We can't hide ourselves. There's many opportunities for us to face our tendency. So this is my sort of interpretation why Rinpoche established this kind of structure, Sangha routine in our tradition, and we inherit this. So this is his wisdom and understanding about human nature, and this would work better and actually more, I don't know how to say, shortcut to the point. I have to stop. Okay. So when he talks, then when he talks about the Sangha, his mode of teaching becomes slightly different, or quite different. Like he talks about kin noi, non noi, put noi. In English, sleep little, eat little, talk little, or something like this. Quite challenging phrase. I don't go there, but it's not only Lumpo, but he would say, "Oton, be patient." Or when he was asked what kind of meditation or the technique you teach, how do you guide your disciples? Once he was asked, his answer was, "Toraman Luksit, torturing my students." So this is different angle, but this is how he wanted to guide people, human beings. So I like to close soon. One aspect, his teaching is very direct, clear, always to the point, to the essence. But on the other hand, the Sangha developed. What is Sangha? It is about we say Vinaya, it's about the form. And also about the human beings. We know we live together, so many challenges living together, our own feelings, opinions, or others. And we can't escape from all those our own conditions. So to come down to the area of Sangha, this is about the human being. It is about the form and the human beings. And what I understand is Rinpoche, if he doesn't want to bother with a human being, he can be just leading a quiet life, because to be with people, to help people, is a big commitment. But he offered that. And then when I think of how he developed the Sangha, what is his commitment to the Sangha, this is just my interpretation, but what I see there is his trust in human beings. It's not precise yet. Human beings or beings in a samsara have various conditions or difficulties, but they themselves should not be obstacles to our practice or to liberation. Of course, he wouldn't say, "No, take it easy, everything's fine." No, of course, he will be very sometimes strict, sometimes quite challenging word, something like sleep little, eat little, talk, speak little, something like this. This word I have to be careful today. I don't go there, but so he doesn't mean everything is fine, but he knows the challenge, limitation of human beings, or weakness of human beings. That's why he thought communal life is more direct way for us to learn. And also, I think his trust in, he trusts that this human condition is not necessarily obstacles to practice or the realization. Right? It's not something we can, don't worry, everything's okay. It's not like this, but this is something we can learn and we can grow there. Like when Rinpoche's biography was being made, written, and I don't know English one or Thai, I don't know the detail of the biography, but when he was practicing, he had so many challenges, difficulties. And some of the disciples thought, oh, Rinpo, this is too much to leave in a book. I can understand because it's our teacher, important teacher. We want to have or preserve a beautiful image of the teacher. But Rinpoche said, no, if you don't include that difficult part of my life, it's not my biography. So what it tells is for him that how we are, although even how difficult or challenging, difference in this and that, but including all of this, he had a confidence, yes, samsara is a challenge, but this is a place we work and the liberation is there. It is very clear, always with him. I stopped talking now, but just I also listened to his talk in Thai for today, and he was giving a guidance to a Westerner who stayed at Wat Papon. She couldn't speak Thai at all, of course, but after, when she was leaving, Rinpo was giving her instruction, just a short Dhamma reflection, about 10 minutes. But the very beginning, he said that the purpose is ending a suffering from samsara. He was talking to just Western, let's say, beginner, but even then, I hope I'm sorry, really beginner or not, but even that small short talk at the very beginning, he had to say this: the purpose of practice is ending a suffering in the samsara realm. So for him, I think it is always clear. And also the liberation is not something abstract or too far or simply beautiful, but we can't reach. But his connection with our human existence in this samsaric realm is always there too. That's why for him, the teaching, when we see or read his teaching, it comes to us. And also he was actually very good at helping the Sangha, because once you are living in a Sangha, every part of our being can become challenged. I hope Sangha members understand this. Our experience, it's nothing easy at all, but Rinpo knows this is a necessary part and actually more straightforward. I need to stop here. I'm getting a bit. I hope what I said is not too big mouth. And so I stop now, and thank you very much for listening to me so patiently.